Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 8. We like to call this episode It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's an Unidentified Flying Object. Today we'll be talking about unified, unidentified objects and little green, little gray men. Like always, it's Big T here with Dante, talking to you here from the lair. How's Dante today?
I'm not too bad. I got all my windows boarded up, and I got aluminum foil on my head, and I'm ready for these stories. I'm not going to answer any knocks tonight because I know it's probably the Men in Black waiting to erase my memory or tell me not to talk about anything. So
Yeah, I feel like we need one of those warnings before this episode that on discussion may get you in trouble with the Men in Black.
warning: we are not responsible if the Men in Black come to your door tonight. Unless you want a couple Men in Black to show up to your door. Maybe you're into guys in suits. I don't know.
Hey, you never know, man. Everybody has their little fetishes.
Just remember, Men in Black, Mike, if you have a child with the Man in Black, it might come out as a black-eyed kid.
Very possible. Very possible. It takes us back to one of our last episodes. Your child might end up becoming some kind of a secret agent for the Men in Black.
I mean, I wonder what the pay rate is.
Can't be any worse than child labor, I guess.
I wonder if they pay the Men in Black in cash.
Probably. That way it's not traceable.
Because I always wondered about that. Like Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, what did they get paid? Or is it like the coal mines? They have to use just company money.
Yeah, I figure, probably some company money, but probably don't want to leave too much of a paper trail. So most things are probably handled in cash.
If the government makes money, though, does that make regular dollars company money?
Hey, you keep my government out of your mouth.
Tomorrow morning it'll be local man goes missing.
Well, before we get started here in our It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's an Unidentified Flying Object session here, I'd like to apologize to everybody for the little delay here between episodes. We had some technical issues. We were in the middle of recording an episode, and we had everything got lost, and some things popped up in real life with our regular, as people call it, 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah, we crashed, and then, of course, I don't know if you know this, but we don't get paid to do this. So we actually have to work jobs, and not yet until Joe Rogan pays us money. Spotify, hit us up. We're here. So, yeah, we're sorry we haven't had an episode out for a week or probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. But yeah, we're trying. We're doing the best we can, and we're actually doing this episode a little earlier. So it might be up before midnight for once.
Hopefully, yeah. And hopefully we don't get 50 minutes to an hour in like last time and lose it all.
If that happens, our next episode's literally going to be 5 minutes long, and it's just going to be like, hey, there's UFOs in the sky. Good night.
We'll just have to do it in parts, just little 45-second clips, just like you see on TikTok and YouTube have those small little videos where they're only 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
We'll just do it in part 22, part 23, part 24.
Our OnlyFans fans would be excited about that. They could just watch the good parts.
Yeah. And if you want to check out the OnlyFans, what did we agree on? What was it, $4.99 a month?
$4.99 a month, and it's 20 seconds of trying to get naked.
Or $3.99. Put your clothes back on.
Or $5.99. We won't throw advertisements in between.
All right, Dante. Well, you want to go ahead and start us off with your first unidentified flying objects, or green people, gray people, white people, whatever stories you have.
I'm pretty excited about this one. This one just sounds like a movie. So listen, on the night of August 27th, 1979, okay, there was, I won't say his first name. I'm sure his name's out there, but there was an officer named Johnson. And no, I did not make that up. Johnson was on patrol in his squad car on a desolate stretch of County Highway 5. And 10 miles west of a town called Stephen. It's in Illinois, so it's not like West Virginia or nothing like that. So at 1:40 a.m., he spotted a light in the sky. And as he turned left to investigate, he was like, oh, it's probably a plane making an emergency landing. As he drove forward, however, the light entered the car itself. He heard the sound of glass breaking, and then he just lost consciousness. When Johnson came to, 39 minutes have passed. He had an eye pain and a bump on his head, but the car seemed to suffer a dented hood, a bent antenna, shattered windshield, broken headlight. And I love that they threw this in there. It couldn't just be like all these broken lights. They're like, and a broken hazard light, because that hazard light's important. But both of Johnson's wristwatch and the car's clock had lost 14 minutes, which is important because a lot of UFO encounters along the road, you might not even know you had an encounter. A lot of times people will be driving, they might see a light or something, and they'll lose track of time. Like, it could be little time too, like 10 to 15 minutes just goes by. You don't even remember where it went. So after that, the impact had cracked the windshield, which sent the vehicle coasting 154 feet along the road before it stopped at a 90-degree angle facing ongoing traffic. Johnson, he tells the dispatcher, something attacked my car, which I can just imagine like the dispatcher trying to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He had to take a field sobriety test, I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah, they were probably, well, it's the 70s. They're like, what kind of cocaine are you on? So he tells them something attacked my car and it wasn't a vehicle. I don't know what the hell it is, he said. So, of course, you go to the doctor because your car just got attacked. And the doctor at the hospital treats his eyes, which was injured as if it was welder's burns. So his eyes were just like completely fucked up. The sheriff of the county carried out an investigation, and the Air Force and the Federal Aviation both confirmed that no aircraft had been scheduled to fly or were reported in the area of the early hours of that morning. So they contacted the UFO studies, which conducted magnetic testing on the car, and it had no definitive results. So in November, a metal engineer visited the sheriff's office, performed his own test, and the car had electrical force. It concluded that an electrical force had caused the damage to the car. So what's that mean? Aliens. And what is it?
I wonder though. The only thing I can say, like, if you were to try to take a skepticism look at it, I know that there's like a type of powder or something that's in the airbags. So I don't know if the airbag would have went off, or being in the 70s, possibly different technology base, but I've heard of that causing irritation and burns and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I could think of for his eyes, possibly. But with what you were saying about people losing time, that's reported in a lot of like abduction stories too, where they can't really remember things and there's like a whole completely loss of time. Like something weird will happen, like they see a light or something weird, and then there's a complete loss of time. And a lot of times they can't remember in that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've read lots and lots of stories where people, like I said, people will be driving down the road and they might see. Sometimes they don't even see lights. Like they might just be like, like you're driving down the road listening to radio, and next thing they know, it's like 20 minutes has just passed. And a lot of people think they just fell asleep driving down the road if they haven't seen. If you didn't see no evidence of in like a UFO or anything like that. But yeah, a lot of times people just be driving down the road, and if they lose track of 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes or longer, a lot of times it's UFOs.
Yeah.
Or if you do see a light in the sky, they lose time that way too, but that's when they actually notice the UFO. Because not everybody's looking up at the sky while they're driving.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, you should be paying attention to the road ahead of you.
Well, they're trying to get that banger of a song on the radio. They're trying to get Careless Whisper playing, or maybe
Super Suspicious Insight says they might be listening to some Ace Frehley.
Yeah. And then they appear on Jerry Springer's Judges show trying to sue the aliens because they stole their time. Was Ace Frehley, wasn't he on Jerry Springer because like this guy said he died or something?
I don't know. I just know he's Spaceman for Kiss, and he had a bunch of weird songs and stuff that had to do with certain things, and that kind of weird.
I know he had all kinds of UFO experiences, I believe. But I think one time, like, he was on Jerry Springer because this guy said that he died or something, and then he was really Ace Frehley. So then Ace Frehley actually showed up on the show and like end up suing him or something. I don't know. It's a wild story. Look it up sometimes. If you know, comment, because I know there's probably some Kiss fiend out there that loves some Ace Frehley. I love Ace Frehley, but I have not kept track up with Kiss for a long time. So
yeah, man, if you have insight on that or your own UFO stories, you'd always shoot us an email at our email at nnpnpodcast@gmail.com. You hit us up anytime.
And fun fact, well, hold on a second while I fight this cat off the top of the microphone. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, gets on the top turnbuckle and he drops the flying elevator.
Dude, Bassie's a wild man right now.
He's gonna fight you.
He is. You stay down. So now he's swatting at me. Talk about you. Any other time we talk about any subject, this cat does not hop up on this screen. Talk about UFOs. Here he is.
Maybe secretly he's an alien.
Are you a man in black? Get down.
It's going to be Men in Black hired him because they've heard of the information that we talked about on the Slime podcast, and we're people of high listing,
One more thing before the cat takes me out. You can actually go to a museum where they have that squad car still damaged as it appeared in 1979.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. It's still got the bent antennas, the hood, lights, everything. Windshield. Exactly how it was that day when it got attacked by the UFO. You can go to this museum and see it.
That's pretty interesting stuff, actually.
So it'd be a cool travel.
Yeah, it's in Illinois, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hike away. But if anybody's ever in the area, they want to take a look at it, or if you're listening from Illinois, let us know.
Which?
Pretty interesting thing.
Yep. I thought I was going to shout out to someone in Illinois, but I don't know if I know anyone in Illinois.
I definitely do not know anybody that lives out that way.
Yeah, I don't think I do. That kind of makes me sad. I was all
It brings me to
excited.
one of my fun stories. Didn't look up the most in-depth thing, but I wanted to find some stuff that was interesting.
Wait, Illinois, Austin. Hey.
Howdy, Austin, whoever you may be.
Yeah, you know who he is.
Do I?
Yeah, we play Xbox with him.
Oh, okay. So you living out that way now? I didn't think he was. I thought he lived somewhere else.
No, he's Illinois. I thought I knew someone from Illinois.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that he was in somewhere else for some reason.
Well, I think he's close to Missouri. I think it's like Illinois, Missouri, like borders. I don't know. I don't know enough about geography. I'm pretty sure he's Illinois. Hey, Austin, I know you're probably going to hear this eventually. Correct us if we're wrong.
Oh, somebody will. Somebody will.
All right, continue. I interrupted you.
Oh, you're good. Wanted to go with one of the fun little stories that I found. This one here has been listed as the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter. This is one of the first alleged documented encounters with people interacting with little gray men or little green men. So this supposed situation happened on August 21st, 1955. Residents that had a farm contacted local police stating that little green men from a flying spaceship were attempting to gain access into their house on their property. When the police arrived, they reported to seeing very many bullet holes in the insides of the home, but was no evidence of any kind of intruders. The family described seeing little green men outside of their house and acting in a way of trying to attack it and gain forceful entry into the home, in which the farmers had shot back out the windows and into their own home, trying to defend their home from these little green men. Ultimately, described from the police that what must have happened was they seen great horned owls outside of their home, and anything that they seen in the sky was credited as just falling meteors. So you can imagine being farmers who might have actually seen something, little green men trying to forcefully get into their home, and they're defending it with everything they have just for the police to be like, oh, it was just some birds and some meteors.
First off, I want to say justice for green men, because I feel like it was probably gray men. Them damn gray aliens are the evil ones. Green guys are just there for fun. They probably just wanted to party.
From the art depicted on this, it actually has them as little gray men, but with a green aura glowing off of them from the reported drawing of the incident.
See, they were totally gray men. They were trying to give the green men a bad reputation. If you never
see how, like, I know owls could be weird and they shift their bodies weird and they can make themselves appear a lot like they're a lot taller than they normally stand, because they kind of, how they sit, they kind of sit like all awkwardly. But this is another incident where the police were afraid that the men in black were going to show up if it got too much publicity.
Actually, this is another fun fact. A lot of times in abduction stories, a lot of the people that get abducted see owls before they get abducted.
Are the owls just the inside man?
I really don't know the connection, but there's a lot of, I'd have to look into it more.
Aren't real. Maybe they're actually just little robots disguised as birds.
I would like to think that owls are like off back to Men in Black. They got a little alien inside the owls running those mechanical mechanisms. I mean, they turn their heads completely around. What animal does that?
Owls, though, the other night I was coming home and I actually heard some owls hooting close to my house, which you used to hear a lot when I was younger, before like all the houses and stuff went up everywhere. And I might get abducted, man. If you don't hear from me, it was either the Men in Black or aliens.
You're getting probed by some gray men. Honestly, green men probably do the probing, but it's out of fun. Gray men,
it's out of trying to understand how we work.
No, it's out of pleasure.
Hey man, maybe South Park is right. Maybe we're just a big reality show.
I could see that. Why would they make such a shit show? Like, people do the stupidest shit. Yeah, I'm not. Those owls. I don't know. I'll have to look into that because I don't remember the reason why, but I just know that I heard through like the radio and like watching UFO documentaries that a lot of people see owls. Or if you lose time at the house, I think you see owls too.
Yeah. It's like, what would you do though? You're sitting there at your house and your dogs start barking, and you look outside and you see this like flying UFO on your property, and then all of a sudden you see these little men, gray men, we'll say, and like trying to like knock your door down. You know, they're going around towards where your garage is and they're pounding on the doors, and then you're trying to defend yourself, and then you call the cops, and they're like, "Oh, you must have just seen some owls, man." You know, they probably just think they're real high. You know,
I would let's see here. I don't know if the cops in my area would be able to handle a UFO. but the FBI center is not too far from me, so
there's a NASA building up there too, which would be interesting.
Yeah, so they would probably know that there's UFOs knocking on my door, and they'd be like, "Here, have this man. Take him. Leave us alone." I'd just disappear, get abducted, probed. Green guys will probe me. Gray guys will kill me. So
that Men in Black come and take in. All of a sudden, nobody remembers who you are.
Yeah, this podcast just disappears. It's you doing it with someone else. On our shirts, it'll just be you. What? There was never another host.
Guarantee in your neck of the woods, though, the police department stuff up there probably be like, this guy must be part of the heroin ring. We're going to search his house. He's got to be high as a kite.
They probably. What the heck? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
This damn cat.
He must work for the Men in Black.
He's never been this needy right now. Talk about aliens, and he's all about it. I tell you what,
can't communicate it to you.
I think he's trying to sabotage the podcast because he knows we're going to disappear afterwards. So if this podcast never sees the light of day, and someone finds it on my computer 20 years from now, you know what happened.
His cat secretly working for the Men in Black.
Yeah, now he just jumped back up. Don't you eat that cord? I'm gonna have to add in the description, be like, yeah, this podcast is about UFOs and how a cat tried to sabotage the podcast.
No animals were hurt in the filming of this podcast.
I might end up getting hurt and he's swatting at me. He's behind the computer swatting at me.
Tony, man, Massey knows something. He's really like Agent 256 or something. Not really Sebastian.
I mean, he is black with like a white. Ah, you fucking cocksucker! Just bit me.
Well, if you can pull yourself together, you got to head on with your next story here.
All right, I'm going to try.
Puts it into you.
I'm going to try before I get murdered. All right, let's see here. Now I gotta refine my notes. All right, this next one you could probably almost do a real in-depth like description about it. It's pretty interesting. Uh, on September 16th, 1994, there was a UFO sighting outside Zimbabwe, and 62 students aged between 6 and 12 claimed they saw one or more silver craft descend from the sky and land on a field near their school. 2 days prior to the incident, there had been a number of UFO sightings throughout southern Africa. So it wasn't like just all of a sudden, all at once, there's a fucking UFO at the school. There had been numerous reports of bright fireballs passing through the sky. The sightings at the school occurred at 10 a.m. when the students were outside on break. The adults were all in the school, doing teacher things. So they were smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. The entire incident lasted about 15 minutes. When the children returned to class, they told the teachers what they had seen, but were dismissed. When they returned home, they told their parents. Many of those parents came to the school the next day to discuss what happened. Now, the sighting was reported on, I'm not sure what exactly this is supposed to mean, but it's I think it's supposed to be like the BBC radio, but this one's the ZBC radio, where this woman, Cynthia Hind, learned about it. And she visited school and she interviewed the children and asked them to draw pictures of what they had seen. And all the children that seen them told her the same story. Now, here's where it gets creepy as fuck. So 62 children between, I'm just repeating myself because the cat fucking attacked me. But the basic details of the sightings were all consistent. And they floated down to the field of brush and small trees outside the school, and 4 creatures, that were described with big heads, no nose, just 2 holes. So that's the typical alien. If you see someone draw an alien, they always just put little dots for the nose. No mouth, and this is where I don't like it. Long black hair. I don't like my aliens with hair. I'm be honest.
Maybe they're just trying to do their best impression of like an 80s rock band.
No, because then listen to the next part. And the children said they were dressed in dark suits and communicated telepathically. So they had dark suits, long black hair, but no mouth and no nose. It's like they just tossed on a wig. I would like to think it was like a Beatles type bowl cut. Like that was the kind of long black hair they had. So
they're just trying to fit in, maybe.
That's what it probably was. So when these creatures exited the craft, many of the children ran away. Because if I saw a fucking big-headed alien with no nose and mouth come at me with a wig that looks like George Harrison coming at me, they all ran away, and mostly it was the older kids that stayed and watched. And the aliens, this is how they figured out they communicated telepathically. Some of the kids said the aliens told them this. This is a quote. This girl said, "The aliens communicated and told us, I think it's about something that's going to happen. What I thought was maybe the world's going to end. They were telling us the world's going to end. I don't even know. It just popped in my head. He never said anything. He just talked with his eyes." And after they talked to these children, they just got on a craft and flew away.
I wonder if the kids tried to play country music really loud to see if their heads would explode.
What was the song they played off of Mars Attacks? It wasn't country.
Some old country / gospel or something like that. And it killed the aliens.
They'd probably just have to play some of today's pop music. I'm gonna sound like an old man yelling at a cloud. They just play.
Goddamn whippersnapper.
Damn that Justin Bieber. I'm a little more lenient in my older age towards music. If it's catchy, I'll fucking jam to it. I don't even give a fuck anymore. But I think it's real interesting that they interviewed. Now they tried to that Cynthia Hine. They tried to say that she kind of subtly. I don't know. I struggle with that word. She kind of hinted at giving these kids, like when she interviewed them by themselves, that she kind of led on some of the details. So then that's why all their stories were the same, but it was never proven wrong or right. So
yeah, just coax them into their stories.
Yeah, like, so, someone probably had the main story, and then she kind of would be like, well, did you see the Silver Craft too? You know what I mean? Like, I don't, it's hard to tell, but to me, that's interesting that, they had all these UFO sightings anyways, and then all of a sudden these aliens come tell the kids, hey, listen, our reality show is going to go to hell if you don't quit trying to melt Antarctica. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
But yeah. That's it
So
for that.
my next story comes straight in my family. My father. You met my father multiple times over our long friendship. He's a man that tells things straightforward.
Well, this is where you disappear. So you were a good friend, Troy.
Well, this story would have took place in the early 60s. Back to my dad's hometown of Junior, which is a small little town between Billington and Elkins, West Virginia, for those who might be familiar with it. Him and his friends were headed to, I believe, play basketball. Dad would have been he said it was probably about between like 7 to 10 years old. When him and his friends seen a small craft hovering just a couple feet off of the water in a creek bed that leads into the Tigert Valley. You could see, Dad said you could see the exhaust and stuff from the UFO, and then it took off very quickly, and it was spotted a few miles away, fully in Elkins, on the main water park there, the Tigert Valley River, and was actually spotted by a man who worked for the local paper there, and actually wrote a story about it. Of course, as kids, they didn't say anything because back then, like, you start talking about weird stuff and stuff like that, there's always a fear of kind of getting like institutionalized, because people think you're crazy, if you start talking about weird things,
Yeah, it was more taboo.
Yeah. But my dad, who's a straight shooter, not a man who has any reason to lie or anything about that, did give us some information on the newspaper. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I'm definitely going to try to look in to see if they have an archive, because I would like to try to see if I could track down the exact newspaper article about it. And if we ever do that, we'll definitely post it on our Facebook. But it's been a real cool story that my dad had told us. So personal family member experience with a UFO sighting. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I remember when he told me, he just told me, like, I know people that don't know your dad, like, he just looks at you straight in the eyes and tells you this story, and you're like, Dad, like, you know what I mean? There's no like bullshitting or nothing. Like, he just straight was like,
yeah, Dad's not a bullshitter. He's a pretty straight shooter about things.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. It's wild to think that, like, your own family members experience, something like that.
Oh yeah, it's a cool story because, like, you hear all these stories, like, you see things on TV, there's all kinds of shows about UFOs, and you read stuff online about UFOs, and you see some dumb stories, which wait to hear my next story because I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist, but it's just freaking hilarious. But to have somebody that you know and trust who's just a straight shooter tell you about an experience that they had, that's really cool because you know that it's not bullshit.
Yeah. I've always been kind of disappointed. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to get probed or abducted, but I always at least wanted to see a UFO, like driving down the road and see like a flying saucer fly above me, or you know what I mean? Or just looking at the sky and see one like fly by. I'd like to see one, but I'm not ready to see inside of one.
And you're not ready for them to see inside of you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of the words I'd like to keep it. Like back there, I'm still a virgin and I would like to keep it that way. It's not my thing. If it's your thing, that's fine. I mean, I don't care. But personally,
as Dante does quotation marks in the air while he says that.
Not my thing. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it'd be cool just to say that you've seen something.
Oh yeah, that goes for anything. It's just like paranormal stuff. It's like you have people who are skeptics, and it's understandable to be a skeptic. But once you actually see something just you 100% can't explain, then it changes your whole perspective on it. And you wouldn't be able to experience it in that way unless you actually have experienced it yourself.
I cannot help it. When you said can't explain it, I just automatically was like, can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel. That's what I'm going to sing to the UFO as it drops by.
That song is a banger.
My heart's on overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. Okay, I'm done. Before I get to the high pitch.
Before we get to our last couple of stories here, I'd like to go ahead and take time and just like to go ahead and thank the people for allowing us to use their music.
Yeah, go buy some shit off of them and go listen to them on streaming sites. It's CaptainCatfish.BigCartel.com. They've been kind enough. I was going to say kindly enough, but they've been kind enough to allow us to use their song as our entrance, and they've gave us support. And yeah, go support them. Go buy some shirts. Go listen to them online. I think they get like, I don't know. I think Spotify pays you like 5 cents a listen. Probably it's probably something stupid, but you know, go buy the CDs instead. Then you could enjoy all the songs.
Yeah, and speaking of merchandise and stuff, we still are in the process of getting some things figured out for the shirt and stuff. Of course, everything going on here that's put us behind has also put us behind on that front as well. We have some things in mind and some things that we're going to try so we can get out some merchandising for you fine listeners. And we'd also like to thank you for your support and following us on all of our social media and our platforms that we post this wonderful podcast. And still blows me away.
Yeah, it blows you off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a huge shout out again to George for making our logo. Making the t-shirt logo. He did a badass job, did a banger of a job. So when finally we get that on a G-string, you'll be looking good.
For sure.
I did forget to bring you one, but I do got some stickers, little stickers, and I ordered them because they were only like, I don't know, like $3 for 20. And I just wanted to see what they look like. And they're so fucking small. That's why they were $3. But they look good. They're just really small.
Yeah, well, if anybody wants some free advertising stickers,
yeah, we got some. You got to put all these little stickers on your back glass so people can actually see one. Like, I mean, they're a size of like a postage stamp, I think. But I just saw.
We are thinking it will get some more information out as the information comes, but we probably will take pre-orders for the t-shirts once we get everything taken care of there. So be on the lookout for that once we get some things squared away.
Yeah, and if the the first 10 people that pre-order gets a discount on our OnlyFans for $2.99 a month, and it's actually our $5.99 a month one, so you get it for half off. I would like to think that like someone new listens to this and like, oh yes, they got an OnlyFans, like they don't get the joke.
But I do want to thank everybody for listening. You can find the podcast always on Spotify, on Podbean, YouTube. Not sure if you've got it up on Apple Music yet or not. I know we had it on iHeartRadio for 0 listeners.
Oh yeah, it's still on iHeartRadio, and we still got 0 listens on that. We actually, I mean, the person's probably still not listening to it, and I'm hoping it's not just a VPN. But we actually had 2 international listeners last week. One from India and one from Russia. So that's pretty cool. I mean, if it's actually international people, that's pretty legit.
Yeah, man. Hopefully anybody is welcome to listen to the podcast, and it would be really cool to have people listening from other countries. They could be into the paranormal just like we are. Just a couple of dudes that are into the weird stuff, you know?
Yeah. Except probing.
As he puts quotation marks up again.
Probing, yeah. I'm getting probed as we do this podcast.
Well, this will be your last podcast because the secret agent 265 is going to take you out here.
I'll tell you what, we're never going to make it to 10 at this rate. Which, if you don't remember, 10's going to be our double bonus size episode. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to have the big one. We're going to talk about the wonderful, probably, what would you say, probably top 3 most haunted places in the state of West Virginia, I would say.
Yeah, easily.
And we're talking about the Moundsville State Penitentiary. Probably seen it on many, many paranormal shows. A lot of famous shows have done it. Many podcasts and stuff out there as well.
And I've been there.
So have I. We actually used to take trips and stuff in high school for our West Virginia history class. So I definitely been there. And it wasn't for like a paranormal tour, but it was just about like a historical tour. But it still was very interesting, in-depth information on the place, and you get to go around and see everything. And definitely a very spooky place. I don't know about you, but got some weird feelings there. But we'll talk more about that on our very first 10th special double packed episode.
This I'm going to date myself. When I went there, I think I listened to Avenged Sevenfold City of Evil because it just came out. Like, I'm pretty sure that came out when I was going down there.
Yeah, I think I would have been 2007, I believe, would have been sophomore year.
Yeah, so I probably went 2006.
Yeah, getting old.
I mean, that was only like 15 years ago. We're good.
16 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Everybody be ready for that once we get to the 10th anniversary, as long as Agent 265 doesn't kill Donnie after this.
Yeah, he's actually like waving his finger at me through the window. Like, come on out, boy. It's time. Shit, I got to go get probed.
Bassie's going to take you out, man. It's nature of it.
Shh, don't say that name. I don't see him around right now.
But, yeah, thank everybody. And we'll go ahead and get back to our stories of little gray men and flying objects.
I got one. My last story is a quick one, but it's a fun one. The way I like it. It's so there was this couple that was kept reporting that every time, I won't say every time, but at least like once a week for so long, a little green man, so he was there to party, would show up while they were having sex. And the first time freaked them out, and they would just like, they'd quit and be like, oh fuck, like someone's in here. After a while though, they just was like, they probably was a little wild. So they were like, you know what? He can watch. Every time they would have sex, a little green man would show up, watch them, and then disappear when it was over. Now, this was a Florida story, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah.
Alien voyeurism.
So yeah, this alien would just show up every time they'd have sex. And then when it was done, he'd just disappear. So he just walked. It was probably just their creepy neighbor in a green man outfit, but
yeah, he went to like one of the local like novelty stores and just got like a green man like costume where it's just basically like a green screen suit with an alien mask.
that would be funnier, actually. Like this guy in a horribly made alien outfit. He's just watching. Actually, that'd be kind of creepy. That'd be creepy as fuck. I would make that into a movie.
Can't be worse than anything else that you watch.
I didn't say whether or not be a porno or not, but I'll make it into a movie. But that's all I had for that one. Now I just thought it was a quick, fun story. It was a Florida man story.
It's the same thing with mine. And this is the most ridiculous thing. And I'm pretty sure this probably is not a true story, but I did find it in research. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever. So just imagine you're having a nice pool party. You're in middle school. You have a swimming pool. Your parents let you invite all your friends and stuff over. And you're just having a nice summer day, splash around with your friends. And all of a sudden in the woods nearby, you see a crash fly over. Then you start hearing some rustling around in the trees and bushes and stuff coming from the woods. So your general reaction, just like these kids, they're going to run inside. They see something weird. Now they're hearing noises like people coming close to them. So they run inside. They go inside for a while and telling the parents and stuff about what they had seen. Parents, just thinking it's just kids just being overactive imagination, you know what I mean? Or maybe one of the kids trying to scare the other kids, tells them to, go back outside and enjoy their party and everything like that. They go back outside, all their pool toys and floaties are mysteriously gone.
Come on, they gotta have pool parties too.
Yeah, man, they might have like a nice little hot tub in the UFO or something. They want some toys to splash around with, those little noodles to beat each other with, and little. I like to think that one of them probably was like one of those like inflatable rings that has a duck on it.
Yeah, there's just like the green alien riding that.
Yeah.
It'd been better if they would have walked outside and the aliens are just swimming in their pool.
But I thought it was the most ridiculous thing. It's just like, aliens show up, run pool party, still all the pool accessories.
Was it in Florida?
I don't remember exactly where it was from. Like I said, I did find it when I was researching some of the information because I was trying to find something fun, that I find something fun, but I couldn't find it again. I thought I had it saved, but I could not find it.
It's got to be a Florida story too. I think we should
Probably.
I think one day we should do a segment of just Florida UFO stories. It's got to be ridiculous.
I mean, just Florida stories in general would be enough for ridiculous for an episode.
I love Florida stories.
Florida man.
Florida man. I did. Now, I didn't know if whether or not this would be, since our whole thing's about UFOs, I did do like our UFO reporting for today. So,
yeah, go ahead, man. Shoot us that information.
I had a couple of them saved because I wasn't for sure what day we was actually going to record this, but this on it's a little ahead because like I said, I thought we were going to do it a little, I didn't know when for sure, but it's for 4/6, so it's close enough. 4/6/15. And now, just to remind everyone, I'm not adding words to this. This is exactly how it's written, how the witness reported it and everything. So it was reported on 4/6/2015. So a newer one. Location, you like this, Troy? Morgantown, West Virginia.
Virginia, by God.
By God. The duration was 30 minutes. Characteristics, there were lights on the object. The object changed color. There were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object. All right, here's the report. This light I'm seeing appears to be moving in a short distance, back and forth. At 11:29 p.m., I noticed what appeared to be a bright star. After focusing on it while lying in bed, I noticed it changed colors. Gotta love these reports. Mostly white and changed to red several times. It was also moving back and forth and up and down, but in no particular pattern. It moved angled up and down, also side to side. Also, the object is flickering. I used a compass and it is roughly 60 to 60 degrees northeast. I am currently monitoring it now. And that's all they have.
So he's in bed, he has a compass, he has his computer, and he's reporting all of it.
Apparently, well, this I think you got to call in. So he probably was in his underwear with a compass and he saw the UFO and I don't know. But in the report, he never even mentioned that there was aircraft chasing the object. I don't know. I ain't gonna question it. I'm not trying to disappear tonight.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. But I do know if you're spending a wonderful evening with your significant other, you're playing some Marvin Gaye, setting the mood, trying to put the moves on, and start getting down to the business, and you notice a little green man there just taking all of his fantasies of voyeurism in for facts that it's possible that that's not paranormal.
I'm seeing shit that's burning my brain. Won't go away, and I'm pretty sure it's staying. 'Cause it stays, and it's strange. Only feel good in the fall.